Hello everybody, I'm Jonathan with Party People Events, and I am here to show you about the balloon drops. Let's talk about them. It's New Year's Eve time coming up. Hopefully you guys have jobs doing balloon drops. And if you're like me, you might book stuff before you actually know how to build it. And this tutorial will be very helpful for you if you have a balloon drop coming up. Or maybe if you need to book some work for New Year's Eve, now you can go try to get balloon drops before it's too late, and now you'll know how to do them after watching this tutorial. Hey guys, this is Jonathan with Party People Events in sunny Florida, and I'm here to talk to you about balloon drops. It's that time of the year. If you don't have balloon drops or you've never made one, hopefully by the end of this tutorial video, you'll be able to at least have an idea what you can do for them, and then you'll be able to make one, and you're going to find that they are really good, really profitable, and actually pretty easy. And in my opinion, they're actually very fun to make. So this is going to be, we're going to make this tutorial in a few steps. So it'll be a few videos. This is going to be the nerdy version of the video, which means I'm going to show you on this whiteboard right here. I'm going to show you all about them. Okay, so you guys may have heard of this, was it an acronym, whatever, where the letters mean words, whatever that term is. Keep it simple, stupid. That's the way I learned it. I think now they say keep it simple, silly, because we're in a soft world. But I don't mess around with balloon drops. I keep everything as simple as I can, because if it doesn't work, if you mess up a balloon drop, you are giving back the client 100% of the money. You're going to look like a fool, and you're never going to get that job from them again. So I don't mess around. We keep it simple. The end result of a balloon drop, what you're trying to do is you're going to create a bag, and it's going to be full of balloons, right? Balloons, balloons, balloons. The way that this works is you have to have your bag tied to the, you have to have your bag tied up. So you're going to have some cord coming off both ends. And usually I have it cinched up in the middle as well, so that the bag is straight. That's what I want. And then the other part of this is that you have some monofilament. I use 80-pound test that goes up through the bottom, and it's stitched all the way across. It's going to be all the way over here where you have somebody who can pull it. And then you have party time underneath. So short version, you have a bag of balloons, totally sealed, except the bottom seal is a line that you can pull out, and then all the stuff inside falls down, right? It's pretty simple, pretty easy. The things that can make this complicated is if you put weird stuff in your bag, it could interfere with the monofilament that's going across the bottom. If the monofilament gets tangled, or somehow your bag is too tight and it resists your ability to pull the string through, then your bag's not going to open. So anything that keeps this monofilament from getting pulled through the bag is very problematic. So I don't put anything in there that's going to cause the monofilament to get tangled or weird or whatever. I don't use monofilament that comes on little tiny rolls, because it's like super curly, and I don't want it tying itself in a knot somehow. So I use monofilament that comes on regular size, larger rolls or whatever, so that it's not real curly when I'm done. When you build this bag, this is the part I'm going to show you in another tutorial as well, but we use trick line that goes across the top, and I'll show you what that is. Trick line goes across the top. The bag is zip tied to the trick line, and then you're going to zip tie the sides of your bag so that it's closed. The other side of the bag you're going to leave open, right? So when you blow up your balloons, you can have an air machine, an air blower, blow all the balloons into the bag. While you're blowing them up, you drop them, they go down, fills the bag up. But this line already has to be there, otherwise your balloons are going to come out. So line on the top, zip ties on the side, monofilament on the bottom, and then when you're finished filling the bag, you zip tie this other side so that the bag is completely contained. All the balloons are inside, nothing's going to come out. We put a little balloon, a 5-inch balloon or something on the end, which holds tension on the bag itself. That way this line doesn't open up just by things settling and stuff like that. The other end of the line, after you're done inflating the bag and after it's rigged up, the other end of the line, what we do is we put it as high as we can within reason so somebody else can come behind you, stand on a chair or a step ladder or something and get it down. What I do with that line is I actually use kite string holders and I wrap the excess line around it, and then I'll just duct tape it, gaffing tape it, whatever kind of tape it to a wall. I make it high enough that somebody who might have a little too much to drink at the party can't come behind and just grab it and cause the bag to open in the middle of the party, right? You need the person who's paying you for this job to come and be the one to pull it, and they need to have access to it. Make sure that they know, right? When you create this bag, I leave a lot of excess line, and then you blow up all your balloons, fill the bag up, stitch it up, and then before you go rigging the bag to the ceiling, I test the line. I go ahead and make sure that I can pull it. You're going to have somebody hold both ends so that the bag is off the ground as good as possible, and you pull the line. If the line pulls, then that means that the bag would open. So I leave about 8 feet of extra on the end, and then I pull it to make sure it works, and then I stop. So you'll still have like 6 feet left or whatever on the end. Once the bag is rigged to the ceiling, then you have your person stand where your client is going to stand when they pull. And then you have them, if your client's there, I like to have the client be the one to test the bag at this point, because they can feel how much tension it's going to take for this bag to open. But have them pull hand over hand is the instruction you're going to give. And the bag you'll see the line coming through the bag, and then you need to have a spotter on the ground watching the end of the line so that they can tell you to stop when you have about 1 foot to 2 feet left. Like 12 to 18 inches is what I have left. Then what I tell the client is, if you kept pulling, you would have opened the bag, which means 100% this bag works. Right now, it's proven. All I'm going to do is tape this up onto the wall for you to get later. And as long as nothing changes, your bag's going to open. And you just saw that happen yourself. So then we pack up our stuff, go on to our another job, and we feel very happy because we know we just created a bag that's going to open. So this is the nerdy part. So you understand the principle of this, and then I'm going to show you a couple things about what you can do at home before you get on the site to actually start putting balloons in this bag. So you know how to build a balloon drop now. You know the theory behind it and all of that. I want to show you how we build our bags first. The first thing that I do is I get this bag. This is from Lowe's. It's just wildlife netting. Lowe's sells a couple different kinds of this stuff. They sell some that's kind of soft, which is what you want. And then they sell some thicker, hard plastic stuff. I don't use the hard plastic stuff. It does not work for what we're trying to do. So you're going to get the soft stuff. It's very flexible. And this particular one comes 7 foot tall by 100 feet wide. This cost me like 25 bucks. So it's pretty cheap. Okay, so you have your net. It's 7 feet wide or tall or whatever. If I folded it in half, that means it's only going to be 3.5 feet wide, which means the bag you're going to make is going to be very thin. This is about as thin as it would be if you folded it in half all by itself. There may be times when you need a thin bag when you're doing balloon drops on a shorter ceiling, like 12 feet or something like that. You might want a shorter bag. You don't really want a 7-foot bag hanging off a 12-foot ceiling. It's not going to really be very helpful. But most of the time you're putting these bags on a taller ceiling. So what you want to do is you're going to cut the netting to the length that you want, and then you're going to cut a second piece to match that length. Then what you want to do is you want to get some trick line, which is something that you can get from like AV stores. You could get it off Amazon, which I think is where I order it from. I order these big rolls. They have waxed and unwaxed trick line. For this, it doesn't need to be waxed. That costs extra, and there's really not much of a reason for it. All right, you can't really see it, but I have trick line right here, and I have it tied between two objects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take both pieces of netting that I'm going to use, and I'm going to start them at the end. You don't want to start at the very end of your line. You need to leave a little bit of room. What I like to do is tie like a loop at the end of my bag so that I can tie other line onto it to pull it tight. But you're going to start at the end, and you're going to start like right at the corner of both pieces. Sometimes like this one is actually folded over a little bit more. Okay, you're going to take both ends of them and you're going to put them together. You're going to end up putting this on the line, and you're going to take a zip tie and you're going to zip tie both nets together directly onto that line. Then you just want to work your way down the line. I zip tie about every 6 inches. The only real rule to this part is just try to be neat. Don't like zip tie it 1 foot into the bag at one point and then 2 inches or so at the other. Just keep it consistent as you're going. All right, you get the idea. This is just zip tied right across the top. I would do this all the way through the bag so that you have the length of the bag you want. And then when you get to the end, you're going to zip tie the 2 ends together. All right, in another video, I'll show you guys what you do with these bags once you get on site, and how to finish them up and all that stuff, and how to rig them, and things you need to pay attention to and look out for when you get on site. So hopefully this helps you guys understand how to put a bag together, and how to set up a balloon drop, and all the things that you need to know, good, bad, whatever. Thanks.